Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hey, how's it going? My name's Nicole, and this is my channel.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
I'm excited that I wanted to start a self-love series of videos just because self-love is a very serious topic and not that many people understand the importance of it or even truly what it means. Personally, for myself, I'm on a journey of truly learning and embracing my self-love, and so I thought, why not make a video about it and be able to use this platform to be able to spread some good information, you know? Let's start. The first video for this series, I should talk about my journey with my self-love experience. And man, oh man, is it quite the journey. And I will start by first saying a journey to self-love is never just, it's not easy. It takes a lot, and it's not necessarily something that you end up reaching a destination. Self-love is something that should always be worked on, like constantly. Being able to learn how to love yourself is a constant growing experience because of the fact that we are constantly changing and growing each and every day. The next thing I want to talk about, that the biggest thing that's usually like a battle against self-love is insecurities. Insecurity, an uncertainty or anxiety about oneself. Lack of confidence. And I wanted to start out by just reading that definition of insecurity because even the most confident people deal with insecurities. If you enter their mind, there is some type of insecurity lying in their mind. And so to bring this into my story and my journey, I'm gonna talk about some of the insecurities that I've had, some that I'm still overcoming, and yeah, the first one being I always tend to put myself down. I always make jokes about myself, like in the sense, like I'll be on the phone with like my friends and I'll be like, oh yeah, like Nicole's so ugly, oh my gosh, like, oh, excuse my ugliness. And then, like, I do it in a way so that I will diss myself before someone else can. I will get into like the impacts that this has a little bit later. I struggle a lot with comparing myself to others. This is probably something a lot of people can relate to. I think it was something that I did like unsubconsciously. I did it because I would look at other people and I would think, wow, like that must be so nice to have those clothes, to go on that vacation, to do this, to do that, and this and that. And I would tell myself that I'm admiring these people's situations, like, oh, that's so great for them. And then not realizing that I'm comparing myself in a sense, because then I end up going home thinking, oh, what's wrong with my life? Like, how do I get there? So yeah, I would always compare myself or think that there was something wrong with the way I dress just because someone else was dressing differently. Like, oh, I dress like such a kid. Look how she dresses. She dresses amazing. She looks so beautiful all the time. And then I come home thinking, oh, there's something wrong with how I look. I gotta change my wardrobe. I gotta go buy new clothes. I gotta change this, change this, change this, change this. Keep constantly thinking I gotta change myself because of what I see others doing. The last insecurity I would I categorize them to 3 things, and that's putting myself down, comparing myself to others, and then the third one being me being a perfectionist. What I mean by that, a perfectionist in the sense of putting too much pressure on myself because I know I'm capable of doing this much, and if I'm not doing this much and I'm doing this much, I beat myself up like, well, why aren't you doing that, Nicole? You know very well if you just did this, 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 and this, you could be doing that. And basically like putting so much pressure on myself to be the best that I can be because I see the potential in myself. And so I guess to go into like why these like insecurities take such a toll on your on my self-love and like how they could for other people. Like putting myself down, talking about myself like in such a like cruel way. Oh, my laugh is so ugly. Oh, look at Nicole, she's so ugly. Oh, I know, my forehead is so disgusting. And I need to start realizing that if I don't believe these things about myself, if I don't think I'm ugly, if I don't think there's anything wrong with how I laugh or how I dress or how my body looks, why even joke and say these things? I didn't realize that I kept constantly saying these things, thinking that I'm just joking around about myself. But the more I spoke these words out loud, I'm speaking them into existence. Because eventually I will start to think, oh my gosh, my laugh, disgusting. Oh my gosh, I am ugly. Oh my gosh, like, why would I do that? You know, like, the words you speak, like, about, like, you should, like, I should be speaking what I truly feel about myself. Do I really love myself? Do I really appreciate myself? Do I really know my self-worth? If I can talk so poorly about myself, it showed me at least that I wasn't appreciating the person that I was if I can talk so poorly about myself. The impacts of comparing myself, like I already kind of mentioned, I start thinking I have to change my life to be a certain way just because other people are doing that. Not realizing, no, that's not my life. This is my life. I need to just figure out what works for me and stick to that. Why do I have to go and change my life because it doesn't look like somebody else's? What makes me think that just because if my life looked like theirs, I would actually be happier? No, I should learn to love my current situation and love who I am, and that way I can find true happiness in that and be happy and content with who I am. And then me being a perfectionist, me putting so much pressure on myself and giving myself such a hard time just because I'm human and I make mistakes sometimes and I slip up. I am being a bully to myself by putting so much pressure on myself and expecting so much from myself and being so hard on myself just because I made a mistake. I'm human. You know what the result of me having these insecurities and letting them impact me so much resulted in? Me not knowing who I truly was. Because I constantly let everything else around me determine that, and then I was always constantly trying to discover my self-worth through other people when that was not the right way to do it. For me at least, it's a pretty sad feeling to not be able to feel like you know who you are. But there is ways to overcome these things. As corny as it may sound, the first step for me was realizing how I was treating myself, realizing the thoughts that I was carrying about myself, realizing the way that I talked about myself, and able to even recognize and decide that I needed to change it. The next step that came that really helped was building a relationship with God. And I say that because truthfully, I grew up with a religious background. I grew up Christian home, going to church all the time, but I strayed away from it in high school and college because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go anymore, and I strayed away. But I found myself back because I got invited, and it honestly started to change my life around a lot. And it was also one of the things that helped me realize how I was talking to myself and treating myself. So I say that building my relationship with God has helped me overcome my insecurities because it helps me realize the self-worth that I have and how much I truthfully deserve in life and the way I deserve to be treated and the way I deserve to treat myself. My relationship with God has helped me so much in this self-love journey, and it still helps so much in many other aspects. And then we don't realize that based on how we treat ourselves determines how we treat others. We may not think it, we may not realize it, but if we can't really love ourselves and value ourselves as people, how do you expect yourself to love or value another person if you can't even do it for your own self? The last thing that I've learned to do is putting myself first. I found a quote on Pinterest that says, "You're not selfish just because you put yourself first." And I need to take care of myself. Your mental health, physical health, and I don't know if you can separate it, but emotional health are far more important than anything else in this world. You have to take care of yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. You need to be able to be happy with who you are. You cannot make a person happy. You can make a person smile. You can make a person feel good. You can make a person laugh. But whether or not a person is happy is deeply and totally and utterly out of your control. That's where I'll end this. I really hope some of the things that I talked about can be helpful or useful to anybody who does watch this video. If you did watch this video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did like it. Share this video with your friends. If you are new to this channel and you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel. I do post videos every Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I love all my subscribers and all my viewers, so thank you. Mwah, mwah. All right, guys. Bye.